Shalom, Yasharallah. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chachadash. Double honors to the beloved elders and the apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to all you hopeful elect Akim out there laboring that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Amar from the GMS Boise, Idaho camp. And I'm coming at you with this lesson, based off of a video that I saw circulating online of ex-CIA operative, so-called, talking about his experiences and his different training throughout his time in the service, so-called. He's been on major podcasts like Joe Rogan and different other, I guess you could say, like conservative woke podcasts. And when I play the video, and Lord willing it doesn't get flagged or messed up with the upload, that you can see that we're coming into the times where we're not going to be able to be comfortable at all, and not like you should think that you're comfortable in Babylon the Great now, because honestly, living in this place every day is vexing as hell. And understanding the knowledge that we have and what we have to live with in this world is very taxing. It's very burdensome. It's very vexing to be surrounded by so much filth in this world, and as we try to live most righteous as we can, without being, over righteous. It's still vexing having to, just little things, man. I'm just venting right now, but even being around coworkers at work, I work in construction, and they be fucking smoking cigarettes all fucking day, chain smoking like a motherfucker. And in between them smoking their cigarettes, they're fucking hitting their vapes. It's blowing big ass clouds, and I got to take a couple steps back and then continue explaining to them whatever I was talking about, because in construction, it's a lot of team effort. You're always working with somebody else because you need the help. So you're always around these people in the world. But without getting too much further from the point, you have to really understand the times that we're coming into. You're not going to be able to come home every day after a long day at work, whatever, chill, put your feet up, eat some food. We're going to be constantly persecuted, constantly on the move, constantly having to look over our shoulder because of the persecution that is going to be coming with the believers of the Bible, believers of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and those that are contrary to this world and not wanting to receive first and foremost that charagma. Salakia Yashra Allah. I'm gonna fix this setting because I have it on battery saving mode, and it's annoying because I'm gonna have to keep hitting a button to keep it from pausing. But either way, I'm going to play this video, but I want to read the scripture first, and then I'm going to read it again at the end of the video. And the point of this is that we aren't going to be comfortable at all during Jacob's trouble. We are going to be taken care of. We're going to be protected. But the point being is that the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yashai, He is going to test every single person that claims to believe in the Most High, whether you want to take that charagma, the MOT to the B or not, whether you want to integrate into the society's digital identification, biometric charagma being inserted under your skin to be able to buy or sell, key being able to buy or sell, and it being implanted underneath your skin is when you know for sure that it is speaking of the charagma. And there we are going to be persecuted for not taking it, for not wanting to take it. You're going to be casted outside of your homes. You're not going to be able to pay rent. You're not going to be able to pay mortgage. You're not going to be able to pay for a place to live. So do you think that you are going to be able to be in one place for long? No. So this is why I want to bring 2nd Ezra 16 and 39. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. And plagues come in all sorts of shapes, and that's financial woes, natural disasters, wars, economic woes, whatever, a literal plague, something that is going to cause your skin to boil if you take the charagma, hint, hint, even though all these tribulations are going to come upon us in this earth. Again, 2nd Ezra 16 and 39, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn. This is a worldwide event. Jacob's trouble is not just trouble for Jacob. It's for the world. And sorrows shall come upon it on every side. And this is the point, verse 40. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. And a pilgrim, if you go into the definition, is someone seeking righteous refuge. Someone seeking an area that they can be safe and be righteous at the same time. So, with that being said, I'm going to play the video that I have for this lesson, and you can hear what this ex-CIA analyst is saying. You know, again, this is for entertainment and purposes only. I do not own, but this is out there. So, hey, man, as you guys can understand what this man is going to say, you'll understand why I read the scripture. So,
you're right. Most people
without further ado, I'm going to let it play.
About prepping. So they think about sheltering in place. Mistake number one that CIA teaches you is you never shelter in place. Never shelter in place, because when you shelter in place, you force yourself into a position where you're relying on diminishing resources. You never want to put yourself in a position where the food you eat, the water you drink, the shelter you live in is a diminishing resource, because then there's a timeline. It can only last for so long.
And he said a diminishing resource. I'll say this, that some brothers may be in a location where they don't have to leave with their families. We have examples in the scriptures about the woman that was constantly given oil and flour to make bread until the famine was over. So don't think that I'm saying all options are off the bed and you're always going to have to be on the move. That's not what I'm saying. But the house and the current situation that you're in right now is going to be tested. You know, I have to say this. I personally have been, homeless before and had to live out my car, for a couple weeks in between me getting a place when I was, around 18, 19, living in the world, man. It's not fun. So these experiences are something that's going to really make those that don't have faith really show it, because it's hard to have faith when you're going through so much tribulation. But the fact that Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai keeps your heart beating, waking up every morning, that's a miracle in itself. Because I'll tell you what, this morning, people were expecting to wake up and they never did. So count your motherfucking blessings. like the beloved brother Barak Allah always says out there, man. Yeah, shalom to that brother. But I'm going to continue this video because, hey, man, it's going to get very tribulation on every side type scenarios.
Especially in like an all-out disaster, there's nobody coming to help you. So sheltering in place, the idea of prepping your underground bunker or hardening your house or filling your drawer, your closets full of guns, that is a fundamental error that marketers don't understand, but true tier 1 operators do. You never let yourself shelter in one place. Instead, you keep yourself mobile, because in motion, you carry the resources that you have and you can constantly collect new resources on the way, right? So consider the difference between having a shelf full of ammunition for your 9mm handgun, and then you sit in your house with all of your ammunition, or you move, and every time you come across a dead body or a killed cop, you collect their 9mm ammunition, you move on another mile, you collect more, and you collect what you need, and you carry what you need. So mobility is huge when it comes to actual survivability. Mobility and survivability is what we're taught, not sheltering in place. So that's the bonus answer. Tiers of bug out. Generally speaking, you have to consider the fact.
So again, as you can hear what he said, man, you're going to be constantly moving is the point that I want to bring. This is 2 Ezra 16:40. Oh, my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle. And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. And you have to have faith that along that journey, Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai is going to keep you safe along the way. And we're going to have evils around us on every side, evils going into these hard times. But you have to really establish yourself in the faith right now, so that when those days come, it's like kicking into your training. Like they say in the military, your training will kick in, so that when you get in those really high stress environments, you're constantly going to call upon the name of Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai and pray for deliverance, man. Brothers, go through, let's say nightmares or night terrors. I know me personally, when you have a night terror, you're encountering a demon face to face. You may not even be able to say the word Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in your dream, but as soon as you start to, you can start thinking it, and even thinking it has the power alone, so that you can expel that demon and ultimately say it in your dream, and you wake up. I know many brothers have said this same thing because I've had this experience, and it's very beautiful that even in your subconscious level, you are resorting on calling on the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And that is why we practice what we preach right now, and we really are always leaning on Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So I want to end it right there and go into these next scriptures and read, a little ways down Psalms 91, because it is very fitting to, when I watched that video, it was one of the first chapters I thought of, going into what that man was talking about so-called bugging out. It's funny, you're bugging out. You bugging out? No, you getting out. It's a term that the preppers use. But I'm going to read this in Psalms 91 and verse 1 back to it. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Whew, and that's heavy right out the gate, man. And that shadow and that secret place is this truth, this knowledge, understanding the scriptures in the correct interpretation thereof. And that faith that it comes with that perfect love that casts out fear when you really understand what these scriptures are about, when you know that you're an Israelite, when you know that you have a chance to be the elect and do this work, man. Verse 2, I will say of the Lord Yahweh, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power. In him will I trust. And these people are going to be trusting whatever carnal preparations they have. Like this man was talking about, these so-called preppers with a closet full of ammo, man. That's not really going to do you much when you got 20 rifles coming at you and now you're an easy lick. This is going to be brutal out here. It's going to get medieval in this bitch. Verse 3, surely, and this is something you can't just skip over, surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, and the fowler being Esau, eating all the different traps, checkpoints, and different schemes that he's going to get to try to get all the people that don't want to take the Kragma. And from the noisome pestilence. The noisome pestilence, ultimately, when we get beamed up from the nuclear missiles dropping on this bitch. Noisome pestilence. Also, the Lord delivering us from saying yes to the Kragma. No, we're going to say no, Lord willing, all the way to the end. And the elect and that small remnant are going to say no, because Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to give them the power to do so. Verse 3, surely he shall deliver thee from this. I read that. Verse 4, Salakia. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. And under his feathers, the angels are going to be around us, representing, have you ever seen a chicken when it starts to rain, it puts its feathers out like a little umbrella, and you see all the little chicks running underneath its mom's wings? It's really cute when you look at it, but it's a spiritually representation of what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Salakia is going to do to us in these last days, especially those that are the believers doing the work, didn't take no breaks, all that. Verse 4, verse 5, Salakia, thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day. And the terrors at night, going into these different pestilences, the actual terrors of people going house to house, or the arrow that flieth by day, these people that are going to be having all-out gun battles in the streets, and ultimately when the nuclear missiles come, which is representation of arrows all throughout the scriptures. Verse 6, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, these diseases, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday, ultimately when this place is laid flat by those ICBMs. Verse 7, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. And that is the miraculous salvation that the elect are going to receive. Verse 7, verse 8, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. And that always makes me think of when the elect are in the chariots and they see the lake of fire mingled, like a glass. How I always think of when brothers are huddled up around a chariot, looking down through the glass floor or whatever it is, with supernatural abilities to zoom in and look out and see the whole picture at the same time. Of these people getting burnt and this place Babylon the Great getting fucking destroyed, man. Because call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we know it's gonna happen. So there's no reason for us to think that we have to take matters into our own hands when it's already written that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is gonna completely lay this place flat. Continuing verse 9, because thou hast made the Lord Yahweh, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation, because you have positioned yourself. And I'll say this, because Yahweh Bashem Yahushai chooses every man. There's no such thing as free will, contrary to popular belief. Oh, I made this mistake, I did that. Oh, I did this. Oh, I chose this. Oh, I found this truth. No, you didn't, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai chose to have mercy on you and give this to you as a gift. So don't think for one moment that you're so big and mighty that you can use and abuse this truth however you want. No, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai gave you this truth that is built upon other men's foundations, and you're going to fall in order and teach the correct doctrine as the men before us have, and our elders, starting with the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, from Tahar on down. So I'm going to read verse 10, and I'm going to close it out. Psalms 91 and verse 10. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. So that is wherever you're at, wherever you decide to lay your head. And I'm going to keep going. Verse 11, for he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. So, you have to really understand that the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to make sure that we are protected. And this was one of the scriptures that the devil used to tempt Yahweh Shai with in the desert. Because if you read the next verse, just for a side note, this is verse 12, they shall bear thee up with their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone, referring to Yahweh Shai. But also that is a word for word what the devil used to tempt Yahweh Shai when he was on his fast for 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness. But this is also something that is applicable to the joint heirs of Yahweh Shai, which is that divine protection of us going through Jacob's trouble. And if the certain remnant has to be martyrs for this truth, that is because that is their lot. And I'm not saying that I myself am exempt from that. And Lord willing that you brothers, Akim, Akwath, were edified from this lesson and can take some sort of gold nugget from it, because these times that we're going into are really real. It's not in a distance. It's not in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. It's in our lifetime. We're going to see this effect soon. So Lord willing that this lesson was edifying unto the elect. Till next time, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chachadash, and double honors to beloved elders and the apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth. And peace and salutations to all you hopeful elect Agim out there laboring that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. Till next time, Lord willing, Shalom.